Hi everybody, it's Jen with Caketastic Cakes, and I'm going to show you this chocolate cake recipe that I used for a child who is allergic to tree nuts and peanuts. So I did my homework, I did my research, I found out what ingredients to use. I'm going to share it with you. And all right, we're just going to start into it. So the cake itself, you're going to put everything basically in your mixer. Have your oven prepped to 350. You're going to need two either 8-inch pans greased and floured or three 6-inch pans greased and floured. So you add 2 cups of sugar, 1 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour right into your mixer. And then you're going to add 3/4 of a cup of Hershey's cocoa powder. This is important. It's got to be Hershey's. I have looked around different companies. I've been in contact with different companies. Hershey's is made completely in a nut-free factory, no cross-contamination. They advertise it. I sent an email. I shared it at the end of this video so you can see it for yourselves that they really stand by their product. You're going to add 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder and then 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking soda. So we have some levitation in this cake. And you also have to decide too if you would, if you're doing a home baking out of your house and you do this as a side hustle, do you want to take the risk? If a mom or dad or whoever is willing to let you do it, and I mean, I'm honest with them. I'm like, I do this out of my home. I have no allergies here. We have peanut butter. I will do my best, and she was okay with it. So make sure you do your due diligence, get it in writing, mixing up my dry ingredients here. And also, in order to clean everything, if you do decide to tackle something like this, and if you don't know, wash everything with hottest hot water you can handle and soap. That is way better to get rid of any allergens than bleach or anything like that. Hot water and soap. Wash often, wash liberally, hot, 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 hot. All right. Anyway, I've got 2 eggs at room temperature. I've got a cup of milk at room temperature. I'm going to take my eggs one at a time, crack them into that little cup right there so I can avoid any eggshells getting in case I do a lousy crack, and throw them on in. This isn't going to do much for your cake except make it kind of chunky and goopy, but here comes the milk. Add the milk just a little at a time so you don't end up with any splashback or kickback, which if you have a mixer like this, you probably are familiar with at this point in time. And now it's starting to get more pasty, more like a cake. You're going to add a 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. So this has kind of got like a box cake feel to it by the end of the day. And 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And again, make sure everything is that you're using that I haven't mentioned is checked and sourced for any cross-contamination possibilities. Scrape your bowl like you will, and then let it mix a little bit more. In the meantime, you're going to get a 1 cup of water boiling on the stove. If you're familiar with making chocolate cake recipes that are based off of cocoa powder and not like a box mix type base, then you're going to be familiar with adding boiling water to it. So you got this nice thick cake mix. You're like, oh, that's looking great. No, no, no. Add a cup of boiling water to it and watch it turn into poop soup looking stuff. Anyway, it does smell good. So yes, gradually, carefully, don't burn yourself. Add your cup of boiling water to your cake mix. Let it mix all in, let it turn into soup. Gonna stop it, give it a little bit of a scrape one more time, just to make everything in the bottom that you could have missed come on out and join the party. Finish mixing it up, and look how nice and shiny it is. I love how shiny it becomes. It's almost got like a ganache shimmer to it, when you get it melted on the stove and it looks real glossy. Very pretty. Anyway, and divide it into your cake pans. I am doing 6-inch cake pans. I only have 2 of them. I actually have 3, but it's got a removable bottom. And because this cake batter is so soupy, it would just leak out. So I'm not even bothering. I just did it with the 2, put some plastic wrap on the rest of the batter, and baked them. You're going to bake them, like I said before, or I think I mentioned, 350 for about 30 minutes. You're going to have to check. It's going to be about 30 minutes. When they come out, let them cool however you do. Before you cut them, make sure they're completely cool. I'm just cutting the top off here. And I forgot to mention too, if you need any tools or supplies that you see me use, as well as some of the ingredients, the main ingredients, check the listing, the description below. It has a link that will take you to my Amazon shop and you can get everything you need and it helps me out. So pretty please consider it. All right, I am using a chocolate simple syrup that I made. I made it with 1 part water to sugar And then I added Hershey's chocolate syrup to it until it was chocolatey like I wanted. Again, Hershey's. Hershey's is the key. Don't go cheap and go Walmart or, I can't guarantee those. I can't guarantee anything. But Hershey, they do their homework. They're careful. All right, the buttercream that I'm using is just a chocolate buttercream I used using butter, powdered sugar, and Hershey's chocolate syrup and some of the Hershey's cocoa powder till it was chocolatey enough. Again, keep us safe. Do the best that you can. But once you're all set, you can decorate it, ice it, decorate it with whatever you want or however you want. Just be careful. I'm going to use satin ice fondant in order to decorate this cake. The fondant I know, and satin ice, they pride themselves on quality, and I love, love, love them. I use them all the time, and they are nut-free, tree-free, kosher, vegan, gluten-free. Like, they do their homework, and you can turn your cake into something amazing that a kid with an allergy can still enjoy a really, really cool birthday, like this Five Nights at Freddy's Foxy. So, I hope you found this video helpful. I know it was a lot, but please consider liking and subscribing because it helps me out as well. I've got a ton of other videos out there, so take a look. And here is the email that I promised you from Hershey's, and thanks for watching Caketastic Cakes.